My interpretation of the teaching model is based on the wisdom of constructivist principles, in particular those of Malaguzzi, Dewey, Bruner, and Professor Seymour Papert. Teachers are influenced by various concepts, and these become vital tools to their development as expert practitioners. Such influences include professionalism, ideology, learning communities, and knowledge. Professionalism relates to the ethics and standards that underpin all teachers' work, a teacher's duty of care. Constructivists recognise the idea of meta-professionalism, where the role of teaching is seen as an educational guardian and role model. This requires teachers to form a genuine connection to their students, emphasising relationships, care and empathy, as opposed to a depersonalised authority figure. Ideology provides foundations of not only schools and curriculums in general, it also provides goals, expectations and actions, a vision for the teacher. A teacher's individual ideological perspectives are formed by expanding pre-existing philosophies with their authentic experiences to form deep understandings of the teaching act. Teachers model learning to their students and are active members of learning communities. The role of a reflective, emergent teacher is threefold: to work upon their own learning journey, to engage and mentor students and bring awareness to their learning, to collaborate, research and exchange knowledge with other teachers and educational professionals, encouraging professional development. In a simplistic sense, knowledge has always been the focus of education. Constructivists, however, see knowledge as more than a linear concept. In fact, knowledge is immeasurable and evolutionary. Teacher knowledge is broken into pedagogical content knowledge, knowledge of curriculum, knowledge of the learning process, knowledge of children developmentally and individually, and knowledge of self. A teacher's influences are carried by the teacher into the classroom. From here, the teacher puts them into action. This is illustrated through the emergent terms of expansive ideas, expansive values, and expansive practices. Expansive ideas. In addition to the values that a teacher carries are three basic ideas. Organic metaphors. Constructivist human-centred teaching shifts the paradigm away from an industrialised condition. Language such as inputs, outputs, productivity, effectiveness, etc., to an interconnected living system and metaphors of life, growing, evolving, adapting, sustenance and nurturing. Children as citizens. Children have rights to participate in society according to their developmental level. The teacher is a child's advocate to empower their citizenship within the learning community. Children as creators. Further to citizenship, children are co-creators of culture and protagonists of their own experiences. They have the right to contribute to their community and should be valued for their individual strengths and creativity. Expansive values. These are seen in the concept of relationality, the interconnectedness of all things, including that of the classroom, reflecting the teacher-student relationship, expanding to a social network of collaboration and integrity of participation. Reciprocity. Teachers and students respect that they are both learners. A relationship is formed where thoughts and ideas are exchanged openly. Teachers take an authoritative position as opposed to an authoritarian. Collaboration. Classroom members are part of a social democracy, growing together through a set of social processes that emphasise participation and responsibility. Expansive practice. The essential work of the teacher takes place in the classroom. Environment as third teacher. Constructivists describe a classroom as being agile. Emergent constructivists address the classroom as the third teacher. The classroom environment has a huge capacity to shape learning, foster collaboration and inspire experiences. An expert teacher is conscious of how they design and organise the objects and contents within the classroom to best inspire learning experiences. Pedagogical documentation. Observations of what children are thinking, feeling and doing. Documentation of children's learning helps bring transparency to the work being done within the classroom, making it visible to all concerned. It also helps to plan where to go next, formulate feedback initiatives, as well as reflect upon the work of child and teacher. Learning awareness and metacognition. When a teacher guides a student and brings awareness to their learning qualities, they bring about a higher level of thinking. Respect is given that each child is unique and differentiated. scaffolding, dialogue, feedback and interventions, delivered in a conscious and reflective manner, engage intrinsic motivation, creating a lifelong love of learning. Projection. The ability to hypothesize the possible pathways of children's learning. Teachers prepare and support children's ideas and interests. Understanding that the destination of learning may not always be predetermined, but evolve during the process. Teachers' responses are not prescribed, but are highly original as they rise to meet the individual conditions created by children's learning. The teacher's use of expansive concepts and practices reflects upon the child, nurturing the growth of 4 authentic human experiences: wholeheartedness, self-autonomy, open-mindedness, and knowledge. Wholeheartedness, an ability to take risks and act with self-determination and creativity. Self-autonomy, a child's awareness and responsibility of their own individual learning needs, the development of critical thinking. Open-mindedness, an active desire to see more than one side, to be open to others' opinions and views. Children develop divergent thought, the ability to see more than one answer, more than one path, and more than one single destination. Knowledge. Knowledge is constructed, developing a high level of rationality, encouraging innovation, imagination and creativity, the very skills needed by the 21st century learner.
If we project any sort of democratic world, we have to assume that education and learning to think differently, and that means learning to learn how to think, is going to be an essential contribution, maybe the essential contribution to that. I feel very deeply committed to the idea that although rationality isn't everything, and passion and interests and faith of various sorts count as much, nevertheless, rationality is a force for the good. And the more people are capable of rational, critical thinking, the better the world will be. The more they have access to knowledge about the rest of the world, the better the world will be.